In this video, I'm going to show you how AI and automation can solve preventable no-shows, remove the manual chasing, and even refill appointments when someone cancels. So AI cannot guarantee that every client will attend because people do get ill, plans change, and emergencies happen. The real goal, though, is to build an attendance system that does three key things. One is it prevents avoidable no shows. Two, identifies appointments that may need extra attention. And thirdly, recovers space quickly when someone cannot attend. So that's the automatic refill of appointments. Now, one no show creates losses in four key areas. So it's not just the appointment value in and of itself, that's one. The staff that has to be in place in order to serve that appointment. The chasing and rearranging of the appointments, you don't just let them go. And then fourth one is a client who could have used that slot now misses that opportunity. So it wastes your business capacity, wastes time for multiple people. Now, it's worth doing a calculation as to what a no-show costs your business. So, as an example, let's say your appointment value is £80 and you've got 6 weekly no-shows, 50 working weeks of the year. That's roughly £24,000 of annual capacity that's potentially being lost. So, no shows do have a cost depending on how your business operates, but regardless, there is something to recover. Now, the reminders work, but the best wording actually works a lot better. There's a UK trial that showed that just by tweaking words, not doing anything else, just tweaking words, improved the no-shows cost by 24%. So tweak the word, not just say the standard message of you have an appointment tomorrow, make sure you come. You have to structure it in a way that it makes the the client or the person that's attending the appointment commit from the very beginning. So you make them send a reply like, okay, send yes to say that you confirm this booking, or complete this form to validate that this booking is in place and was made by you, something along those lines. So it's not changing the technology, it's just changing the messaging and getting the customer to be engaged, or getting the lead to be engaged and commit very early from the beginning. So the workflow problem with this attendance is that, or with no shows, is that from the booking, you don't just send the confirmation. The confirmation in and of itself should contain something that gets the person attending the appointment to commit or to respond or to show that they really want to attend that appointment. And then you send them reminders. And then if you do have an advanced system, you want to have some risk detection. That's based on the historical data you have. So you should be able to say, okay, people who book in a certain way don't turn up, or people who don't respond within the first 3 hours don't turn up. So, but that's when you have data. So there are about five layers that I'm going to cover in today's session, so that you can see the different places where you can make those changes within your appointment, so that the no-show situation is improved. So immediately after a booking, get them to commit. So confirm the date and time, send them within the confirmation an attachment that means they can just click on it to add it to their diary or add it to their calendar. Uh, Provide cancellation terms. So if you don't attend, it will cost you $10. If you attend, something along those lines. Explain what happens next. So you'll be attending on Tuesday, and on Tuesday we'll talk about your income or talk about your insurance, something along those lines, so they're clear what it's about. And then request a confirmation. So that confirmation, if they send it, that shows commitment, and that shows they've done something to ensure that that appointment is theirs. And in some cases, you may want them to send a payment, like if you want them to pay a deposit in order to secure and secure the date. So the second layer is when you're sending the reminders. So ideally, if you've got enough time, send your reminder several days before and give them enough time to be able to rearrange. The second thing is yes, do send the day before. That makes a huge difference. And shortly before the appointment, just send them confirmations. Is a subtle way of reminding them of the appointment. When you say, okay, so we're meeting in 2 hours time, and when you drive up, park in this bay, or just give them some instructions of what they need to do in order to have a smooth experience coming to the appointment. And you can also include things like the location, meeting link, any preparation instructions, any rescheduling link, and a simple reply button. Reply this if you cannot make it. It's very useful to have that. So right here is an automation that we built for an estate agency where when people call their line, we have AI answer the call and help them book the appointment. And at the point of booking the appointment, we trigger this workflow that collects a self-booking link. So we go into Calendly. As you can see here, this module here, it goes into the calendar, generates a self-booking link, and then fires it off to the client. On the top top path, it goes as an SMS. In the bottom path, we send it as a WhatsApp message through Twilio. So with that, the client can just click the button, rearrange, or click the button and cancel their appointment. That way your calendar gets clean. And this is just one aspect of what you'd build into this overall system. So the third layer is how you handle replies, and this is where AI comes into its own. AI now can understand when a client is confirming their appointment, they're trying to cancel their appointment, if it's a rescheduling request, if there's a problem, if they've got any concerns, the AI can understand the language because it understands natural language and would know what to do depending on what you've programmed within the AI. So with that, it can automatically update the booking. If it says, all right, I can't attend on Tuesday, but I'd rather come the following Tuesday or Tuesday week, then it knows to move the appointment from this Tuesday to the following week's Tuesday. So that's something that can happen automatically and does happen with some appointment booking systems or attendance systems. It can also provide a rescheduling link. And one of the other great things that it can do is escalate if it doesn't understand what's come through or if there's an urgent concern that the client has expressed. With this, you don't have to physically sit there and receive these replies and handle them. It all happens in the background, regardless of the time. So if somebody sends a message late at night, it can still be handled correctly. And then the fourth layer is that it can detect appointments that are at risk. So let's say your criteria requires that people are confirm their appointment 2 days beforehand. It can detect automatically through the automation to see, okay, 5 clients have not confirmed their appointments. This is something that needs to happen. Maybe send them another message, send them a call, get your AI to call them to say, okay, can you confirm that you will attend this appointment? And all these things depend on the cost of each appointment and the cost of missing things. If you have a waiting list, then that's even all the better because with your AI making the call, if they don't confirm, you just cancel the appointment and put someone else there in, and then send them a message saying, "Well, you can rearrange this appointment." So you can be more proactive with what you're doing, and where information is missing and the client has been required to send you some information and they haven't sent it, you can request it or use that or see that as a risk that the appointment will not be met. So when you go into this solution, your attendance workflow, just make sure you don't automate the whole thing to begin with. There are 2 aspects you can look at. You can look at creating something called predictive analytics. So that's where you go through your historical data and you say, okay, people who don't confirm within half an hour means that, okay, they won't attend the appointment and stuff like that. You can do that. But to begin with, you want to specify what the rules are. So you want to flag every booking that remains unconfirmed 24 hours beforehand. You can start with that and get the automation to work on that. You can also set a rule that 6 hours before every meeting, generate the traffic information and send them what that looks like, so that they can prepare and leave their houses with enough time to attend and do the parking. You can send parking instructions. You can even get them to pay for things beforehand. So create those rules, create the rules that you think would help your business, and you can test those out and automate them. Then only when you have data should you start thinking about predictive risk scoring and canceling appointments if certain criteria are not met. So the fifth layer is the refilling of cancelled appointments. So let's say the client phones or sends a message saying they want to cancel their appointment. You should refill or should be able to refill the appointment automatically if you have a wait list. So let's say the cancellation comes in. Um, You then have a wait list of other people that want to attend the appointment. So you then check and review your waiting list. You offer that cancelled appointment slot to other people within the list, and then just state that the first person to respond gets the appointment. And you have a system that would receive the text messages or receive the emails and then update the calendar. And then that's it. That way you've recovered the slot. And yes, there was a no-show, but someone else is showing now, so it's still a filled appointment. So it helps you recover the capacity, and the automation is there in place to work 24/7. So here's an example of, let's say, a physiotherapy clinic. This is just one. Imagine you had 5, 6 clinics within your organization, and all of them have faced this situation. So typically you have 80 weekly appointments, and then each appointment is £85. If there's a 10% no-show rate, that's 88 empty appointments a week. If you're able to use a system, this attendance system, to recover 2 of those, then suddenly you've recovered £8,000 per clinic per year. Now, depending on the value of your appointments, it could be higher, it could be lower, but any additional income in perpetuity in this way makes a difference to the bottom line, and that's what we're in business for. So don't automate everything. Always have a human in the loop. And I'll always say this because think about your clients. It depends on what kind of clients you have. If you have clients that are high value clients, some of them don't just want to be cancelled. They want to be treated a certain way. So you make sure there's a human involved. Where you'd have the AI stop is highlight that the appointment is going to be cancelled because they haven't met XYZ criteria. Phone them to get them to confirm. Now, think about sensitive customer situations and why appointments should not be cancelled. Maybe in the health sector, there's an issue, or it's an appointment that they've waited 6 months for, and just cancelling it might be unfair. You might want to chase them or put something in place to chase them. If there are complaints, if there are exceptions, so these are things that you want to be thinking about, and think about the human side when you're working with these clients. And then the real opportunity is that, AI doesn't guarantee that everybody will attend and there'll be zero no-shows. There will be no-shows because life happens, but there are preventable no-shows. There are things that happen, emergencies and things like that. Just make sure you have a system in place that can reduce humans having to chase people to attend their appointments, makes rescheduling very easy. Just a click button, they don't have to call you to change anything. Refill your cancelled appointments, so it means you should have your wait list updated and ready. And then this system should help you recover lost capacity, lost revenue. We've done some calculations, and you should be able to do similar for yourself. So out of interest, I would like you to put a comment below. What does one no-show cost your business? And would this type of system benefit your business if you were to put it in? So it's an attendance system, one that does the chasing, does the reminders, and helps you recover any lost appointments by refilling from the wait list, or allocating any cancelled slots to customers on your wait list. So my name is Ujam. I'm the founder of Autori.ai. We're currently working with HVAC companies to help them chase estimates that they send out that nobody responds to. So this is all part of recovering revenue through recovering no-shows, recovering estimates that have gone out that no one's chased, and that type of work. So if you would like to find out what AI can do for you or do for your business, do reach out. The website is autore.ai, or you can send me an email on hello@autore.ai. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Until next time, keep winning.